I was seen as silly for my odd behavior, like making a kite from a textbook or giving candy to street dogs. My brother Tim loved science. I was supposed to watch him, but I was distracted by a game. Tim was hit by a car. My mom was devastated, and I was frozen in shock. Tim died, and the guilt is indescribable. I took the candy my mom prepared for guests and gave it to street dogs. Everyone saw me as pathetic. But one day, something changed my life. I lived with my family, and my brother Tim was my heart. He was smart. One day, she asked me to care for him. I heard screaming and rushed out to find a car had hit Tim. I stood there, shocked. Tim died, and the guilt was indescribable. That night, I decided to change. I started studying hard and focused on the sciences Tim loved. Engrossed in my game, I played until I heard screams. I ran out to find Tim hit by a car. My mom screamed and collapsed as I stood shocked. Tim died that day. The guilt was overwhelming. I blamed myself for not being responsible. That night I vowed to change. I studied hard, read, and learned. I focused on the sciences Tim loved. I wanted to be someone he'd be proud of, even if he couldn't see it. Over time I proved myself. I won science awards and wrote stories about responsibility. It wasn't easy, but I did it for Tim. Today, I'm a leader in science and education. I started a global initiative for young science enthusiasts, named Tim in his honor. I learned from my brother that life doesn't give second chances and we are responsible for every moment. I'm not the silly girl anymore. I'm Kate, who turned pain into strength and loss into inspiration. I wanted to be someone he would be proud of, even if he wouldn't witness it. I proved myself. I won awards in science competitions and wrote stories for children about taking responsibility. Each step was for Tim. I lead in science and education. I started a global initiative for young science enthusiasts, named Tim in his honor. I learned from my brother that life doesn't give us a second chance, and that we are responsible for every moment we live. I'm no longer the silly girl everyone mocked. I'm Kate, the girl who turned her pain into strength and her loss into inspiration. And that we are responsible for every moment we live. I'm not the silly girl that everyone mocks anymore. I'm Kate, the girl who turned her pain into strength and her loss into inspiration.